So g'day folks. Big news for us Aussies down here in Down Underland. DayZ went and got itself refused classification, apparently. As you can see on the screen there, the Department of Communication and Arts, the classification board, basically gave DayZ a refused classification title. Kind of confusing when we had this lovely R-rated restriction, but apparently a applicant was put in by Five Star Games, which I believe is the mob behind the physical copy of DayZ that is coming out later this year. Which, yeah, kind of surprises me because, as you can see here, this is from a mob called Refused Classification. They fight the games that have been refused classification here in Australia. Bohemia Interactive have submitted DayZ 3 times under the International Age Rating Coalition. In October 2018 and March and May 2019, it received an MA15+. Strong violence, online interactivity. You know, for the online stuff, I would even go so far as to say maybe an R rating for DayZ, but I'm not on that board. Well, if I was, it wouldn't have been banned, that's for sure. In June 2019, it was banned after Five Star Games Proprietary Limited submitted it as a multi-platform title. Presumably, this was going to be the PlayStation 4 release. The classification board's database gave the following reason for the RC rating. Games 1A. The computer game is classified RC in accordance with the National Classification Code, Computer Games Table 1. A. As abhorrent computer games that depict, express, or otherwise deal with matters of sex, drug misuse, or addiction, crime, cruelty, violence, or revolting or abhorrent phenomena in such a way that they offend against the standards of morality, decency, and propriety generally accepted by reasonable adults to the extent that they should not be classified. Man, I can think of a dozen movies I've seen in the last couple of years that have got all of that and then some in it. But because it's a video game, they go ahead and refuse a classification. I just don't get it at the moment. But yeah, so what it means now, well, I logged in without signing into my account, and DayZ is still able to be bought here in Australia. You can tell it's Australia because it's got the Australian dollar $59.99 price there. So it's not all bad news right now. What it means for the physical release, sorry, I'll come back to that one. Who knows? I may need to get one of my lovely friends overseas to ship me a copy, because I'll definitely get one on Xbox One. I've got one here at home even though I don't use it, just because it'd be a nice little keepsake to have for what is, without a doubt, my favourite game of all time. Reddit, as you can imagine, blew up. Couple of posts on there. This is the main one. People, what the fuck? What happens now? But as I said, we're able to still log in and play the game. I'm unsure of console, but I haven't heard my mate Don Sibley saying he couldn't get on and play it. So it does appear to be business as usual for now. But I've reached out to the dev team. I did send them a tweet via direct message asking them for a comment. And also to know what this means. Will it mean there's any changes required to be made for the game to be able to be released in Australia in the future? So it's a big case of hurry up and wait for now. Love to know what you guys think of this in the comments below. It's kind of embarrassing to be an Australian right now. DayZ is an amazing game, but like I said, you know, there's so much out there. There's TV shows, there's bloody movies, there's other games that have got worse than DayZ. But for some reason, Australia just has some very fucked up nanny views on what is acceptable for release here in Australia. You know, Fallout 3 got refused classification for the drug use. That's what seems to be a lot of people's thoughts is, you know, there's no sex in the game other than your squeakers who love talking dirty and doing sick shit with any time they find someone who sounds like a female. They're probably abusing other squeakers more than they realise it, but anyway. But the drug use is what a lot of people I'm seeing talking about online think is going to be the big issue. The fact that there's no negative consequences for when you take morphine. You know, at the moment you can just bam, bam, bam them one after another and get the effect of them with no negative consequence happening. I do believe there are a couple of modders looking at doing that. Something along the lines of some of the alcohol mods where you can be drunk and so on in game. But as we all know, DayZ is still in development. Might be 1.0, but they are still working on stuff. Not as much as we would like them to be working on, but they are still working on stuff. So maybe that's going to be coming down the line. So this could be a bit of a preemptive jump by the Australian Classification Board. We shall have to wait and see. If you're wondering why I keep looking over to the side, I'm just making sure that my OBS is recording this. I've already said all this once and it didn't actually record it. So yeah. On another note, on a personal note, you could tell that there's no humming in the background. I had my PC fixed finally. Thank you to all of you who supported me with the Mug Club. It helped chip in a little bit towards the cost of it, but I ended up just doing it myself. Tax return time and all. So the problem was with the vibrations that the parts were sending out was making my old metal case vibrate. Now I've got a nice tempered glass case. Bright shiny light, it's a Corsair one, and it doesn't make a sound at all. So now I sound more professional. Now I've just got to fix this issue with my lighting. Hopefully Father's Day sees my son hook me up with a couple of key lights from Elgato, so I can get a decent quality green screen happening in the background as well for you all. I am trying to be more professional. I know I'm not the most professional looking person, but I can only go with what I was born with. But I do enjoy doing these. I'd really like to hear from you guys your thoughts on what I talked about with DayZ. Especially if you're Australian, if you're a console player, what's it going to mean for us in the future? Like I said, it's pretty embarrassing being an Australian right now, but we shall see where this goes and what happens in the future. All the best and ciao for now.